Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Today, I would like to talk about what it is that I personally enjoy most of all sharing about when I teach, when I do my voice lessons. Because yes, I like to teach, obviously the technical part of singing and all that, and it's fascinating, really. But I really like when I'm able to go far enough with that, that the student has learned and is able to really use the voice. And then after that, I really like to talk about singing with consciousness. And what does that mean? I really believe that singing with consciousness is the difference between singing even with a beautiful voice with great technique and singing in a way that actually inspires and touches people's hearts. There's a big difference. There are a lot of singers who are able to develop wonderful techniques, but there are not so many who, when you listen to them, you really get a deep experience that can be sometimes even life changing. And so, what is it that makes that difference? So, I really believe that, first of all, okay, let me explain what I mean. How do you sing with that awareness, with consciousness? So, first of all, most important thing, be absolutely present on what you're singing, on the words you're saying, on the meaning, and especially the feeling behind those words. Because it's not enough to know the song and sing it. You also have to really be with the song and express it. Otherwise, it's just you tossing out notes and words, but it's not so effective. So you have to be very present with the voice in what you do with the song. And then it means to, so you can't go on autopilot. When you know a song very well, it's very easy to go on autopilot. You start singing and, the song can sing itself. You can be thinking about something else. Well, that is not very effective in terms of really conveying something deeper than just words and notes. And then it means also to put aside your ego. And what does that mean? Um, Honestly, I had to be honest here. I've been a musician all my life since I was 6. Really, I started taking guitar lessons, and my whole life has been dedicated to doing music. And I have to say, quite frankly, I don't think there is another group of people like that are so, not all of them, but in general, where there's so much ego as there is in the environment of music. Musicians tend to be pretty egocentric, like egotistical, like look at me, how good I am. I mean, you can't blame them. Musicians, what do? They stand up on a stage and they perform. Everybody looks at them, everybody admires them, everybody applauds them. And so, it's not easy to not become, self-important. However, I really believe that if you want to be effective as a singer, you cannot let that rule you, because otherwise you lose perspective really on what singing is all about, and you start to think that singing and music are just about you showing off how great you are. But that is really not the point. You are up there because you are serving the people you are singing for. You are being an instrument for whatever inspiration is in the music that you're singing. Whether somebody else wrote it or whether you wrote it, it doesn't really matter. The point is that your job is to stand up there and to use your instrument to translate that music into inspiration that everybody can feel and enjoy. If you think that you're up there just to show off, well, yeah, you will show off, and some people will be really impressed. But ultimately, what will you have accomplished? What will you have at the end of the day in your hands? You reach a point where it's the end of your career. Your voice will not sound as wonderfully as it sounded maybe 20 or 30 years earlier. And what will you have in your hands? What will you have gained from doing what you did? Not much. But if you talk to musicians who have been able to sing with that awareness, they will tell you how fulfilling and full their life has been because they were able to really give something. Ultimately, what enriches us is what we're able to give and not what we're able to get. So if you stand up there showing off, you're trying to get something from people. You're trying to get their approval, you're trying to get their applause, and that's not bad in itself, but if that's all there is to it, there's not very much left. And mind you, this is my personal opinion in watching myself and other musicians over the years and what seemed to work in terms of honestly making them happy, making them feel like they're fulfilled people. So also along those lines, it's important to put aside any expectations of fame and recognition. Because for the same reason of what I said, fame and recognition, you're still singing with the idea in mind that you want to get something from others. And, yes, musicians have to eat. So you can expect that if you do your job, something will return to you that will allow you to, to live and to buy what you need. That's not unreasonable. But if that's all you focus on, once again, what you do becomes cheap and you don't really infuse it with that power that it can have to really, really help people. And so these are just a few ideas of the things that I work with my students. One of my greatest satisfactions in working with students is when I have students who are not only musically and vocally talented, so that they develop a really good voice. You can work on your technique, but ultimately the voice is what you were born with in terms of the quality, the beauty of the voice. And so when all those are there, and then they're also really beautiful people, honestly, to work with, and they understand the importance of singing in order to help and serve other people. And so when we can work that way, it becomes really, really rewarding for me and for them, because you can really tell that they're growing not just as singers, but they're also growing as people. And so ultimately, that is really what is all about. This is all about. So I know that maybe someone will not agree with what I'm saying here, and it's just fine. We all have different experiences and we've done different things. So I don't mind. This is just my idea and what's worked for me. So take it as it is. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.